Hey, y'all. My name is Dino Deborah T. Rex of the Texas Rexes, and my pronouns are she, her, and hers. Woo! I want to thank y'all for inviting me to be a pen pal today in this segment of Storytime with Sparkle, now seen on YouTube.
Well, hey there, Miss Dino Deb. It is me, Sparkle Lee.
Well, hey there, Miss Sparkle. Can you tell me, what are your pronouns?
Well, Miss Dino Deb, my pronouns are as well she, her, hers. Now, Miss Dino Deb, I'm actually a drag artist, so sometimes when I don't have all the glitter on my face, I'm known as my alternate persona, Dan. And his pronouns are he, him, his.
Yes.
And did you know what? There's other people that have other pronouns, like they, them, theirs. Oh my goodness, Miss Dino Deb.
Oh, heavens. Well, I am learning so much. Goodness, I got the vapors, and I am just exhausted for the moment. Do you mind if I take a break and go on Google and just kind of search a few things that I have questions about?
Now, Miss Dino Deb, I am never one to limit someone's self-education. Just remember, check your sources!
I'll see y'all back in a jiff.
Bye, Dino Deb. All right, sparklers, let's go ahead and find a story. Oh my gosh, I've got one right here. This one is Amazing Grace by Mary Hoffman. Let's open it up here. Oh my goodness. Oh, this looks really good. Okay. Grace was a girl who loved stories. She didn't mind if they were read to her or told to her or made up in her own head. She didn't care if they were books or movies or out of Nana's long memory. Grace just loved stories. After she had heard them, and sometimes while they were still going on, Grace would act them out, and she always gave herself the most exciting part. Grace went into battle as Joan of Arc and wove a wicked web as Anansi the spider. So cool. She's got such a great imagination. She hid inside the wooden horse at the gates of Troy. She went exploring for lost kingdoms. She sailed the 7 seas with a peg leg and a parrot. Oh. She's so multi-talented. Look at that, the peg leg alone. She was Hiawatha, sitting by the shining Big Sea water, and Mowgli in the backyard jungle. Wow. She sure does like a lot of stories, huh? Oh, most of all, Grace loved to act out adventure stories and fairy tales. When there was no one else around, Grace played all the parts herself. She set out to seek her fortune with no companion but her trusty cat, and found a city with streets paved in gold. Or she was Aladdin, rubbing his magic lamp to make the genie appear. Oh. Do you guys have any lamps with genies in them? Check. Sometimes she could get Ma and Nana to join in when they weren't too busy. Then she was Dr. Grace, and their lives were in her hands. Oh. Again, she's just doing everything over here, isn't she? My goodness. One day, Grace's teacher said they would do the play Peter Pan. Oh, that's a favorite of mine. Oh my gosh. Grace knew who she wanted to be. When she raised her hand, Raj said, "You can't be Peter. That's a boy's name." But Grace kept her hand up. "You can't be Peter Pan," whispered Natalie. "He isn't black." But Grace kept her hand up. "All right," said the teacher. "Lots of you want to be Peter Pan. So we'll have auditions next week to choose the parts." She gave them, and they all wanted to learn. There's lots of different parts in plays. Yeah. When Grace got home, she seemed sad. "What's the matter?" asked Ma. "Raj said I can't be Peter Pan because I'm a girl." "That just shows what Ra knows," said Ma. "A girl can be Peter Pan if she wants to." Grace cheered up. Then later, she remembered something else. "Natalie says I can't be Peter Pan because I'm black," she said. Ma looked angry. But before she could speak, Nana said, "It seems that Natalie is another one who don't know nothing. And you can be anything you want, Grace, if you put your mind to it." That seems like a pretty good motto. What's the motto with you? Just kidding. Okay, on Saturday, Nana told Grace that they were going out. In the afternoon, they caught a bus and train into town. Nana took Grace to a grand theater. The sign outside read Rosalie Wilkins and Romeo and Juliet in sparkling lights. Oh, there it is. Oh my goodness. "Are we going to the ballet, Nana?" said Grace. "We are, honey. But first, I want you to look at this picture." Grace looked up and saw a beautiful young ballerina in a tutu. Above the dancer, it said, "Stunning new Juliet." Looks like anybody can play Juliet. "That one is little Rosalie from back home in Trinidad," said Nana. "Her granny and me. We grew up together on the island. She's always asking me if I want tickets to see Rosalie dance. So this time, I said yes." After the ballet, Grace played the part of Juliet, dancing in her room in her imaginary tutu. "I can be anything I want," she thought. Look at her dance moves. My goodness, she's got so many. On Monday, the class met for auditions to choose who was best for each part. When it was Grace's turn to be Peter, she knew exactly what to do and the words to say. She had been Peter Pan all weekend. She took a deep breath and imagined herself flying. When it was time to vote, the class chose Raj to be Captain Hook and Natalie to be Wendy. There was no doubt who would be Peter Pan. Everyone voted for Grace. "You were fantastic," whispered Natalie. "There's everybody at the audition. Oh, look at her. Wow, she's doing such a good job. She even brought like a blanket hood thing. Ooh. Oh my goodness, there she is, sparklers." The play was a big success, and Grace was an amazing Peter Pan. After it was all over, she said, "I feel as if I could fly all the way home." "You probably could," said Ma. "Yes," said Nana. "If Grace puts her mind to it, she can do anything she wants." And there she is as Peter. Sparklers, the end. Oh my gosh, what a great book. Again, this is Amazing Grace by Mary Hoffman.
Oh, Sparkle, I only caught the tail end of that, but that was such a beautiful story.
Wasn't it? Grace overcame her worry and she made Ma and Nana proud.
Yes, she did. I'm going to tell you what, with all the worry that's going on in the world today, that story kind of reminds me of a certain verse from another book.
You don't mean the one that Ralph Abernathy was known to have said to Martin Luther King Jr. in the Birmingham jail, do you?
That's the one. I'm talking about Matthew chapter 6, 26 through 27. "Look at the birds of the air. They do not sow or reap or store away in barns, and yet your heavenly Father feeds them. Are you not much more valuable than they? Can any one of you, by worrying, add a single hour to your life?"
I think that's a pretty neat way to remind us all not to worry so much. Eh, Dino Deb?
Right you are, Miss Lee.
Thank you so much for being my pen pal.
You're very welcome. Now,
Back to you, Pastor Stacy.